Are you looking to get a lawn just like this? Well, you've come to the right place at the right time. Fall is the best time to renovate your lawn, and now that the summer is coming to an end, it is time to start preparing your lawn for a fall renovation. So without further ado, let's talk about the different steps you can take to make your lawn look like this one behind me. Let's get right into the video. Every night, you and I on a roll. For those of you new here, my name is Wade Murray. I'm a lawn care enthusiast as well as I work in the industry, and this is a channel where I help get your lawn from brown and disgusting to green is beautiful as fast as possible. So if that sounds like a great plan to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit the like button, and make sure you share this video with friends and family so we can help grow this Canadian lawn care community. Now before we get too far into this video, make sure you stick around to the end because there is a surprise giveaway that you won't want to miss. Alright, so as I mentioned, fall is just around the corner. It is currently August 5th today, so we are steaming towards the end of our hot and dry summer period into our cooler, more damp fall period. And what that means, with that comes fall renovation, lawn renovation time to turn your lawn around, improve your lawn from the damage it may have sustained over the heat of the summer or the damage it may have sustained over the last 10-15 years of neglect or anything else like that. This is the time to do stuff to your lawn. Fall is the time to renovate and improve your lawn by far. This is the best time to do it. So because this is the best time to do it, in this video we're going to be talking about different types of fall renovations and what your lawn needs, how to go about them, and we are going to be showing you the results you can see with my project lawn across the street. We're going to be introducing, and we are going to be using that lawn as a perfect canvas to show you that just because your lawn doesn't look like this one behind me doesn't mean that your lawn is completely dead and it's time to start over. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So number one, let's understand what a lawn renovation is. A lawn renovation is essentially you are putting down fertilizer, seed, and doing any sort of mechanical core aeration or mechanical work done to the soil to basically either help rejuvenate or completely grow a new lawn. So essentially you are either going to be trying to renovate or fix up the lawn you currently have or completely start over. So you're probably thinking, Wade, how do I know which one to do? How do I know whether my lawn is okay enough that I can renovate it and try to save it, or I know that my lawn is too far gone and it's time to completely start over? Well, there's some pretty good parameters to be able to judge whether your lawn is okay or not. And you might have heard me talk about this before from longtime viewers of the channel. If your lawn is 30% grass or less, your lawn's too far gone, it's time to completely start over. Now, this doesn't mean it's 30% green grass or 30% nice looking grass. All I'm saying is, do you have 30% grass? When you look at your lawn, in between all the weeds and all the dead spots, is there at least 30% viable turf grass in your lawn? And if the answer is yes, then your lawn is perfectly fine to renovate and rejuvenate without having to dig everything up and completely start over. If the answer is no, you're seeing a significant amount of dirt, you're seeing tons of broadleaf weeds, your viable turf grass that is there is all completely different types of grass, clumping fescue, you got poa annua, poa triv, annual bluegrass, all that stuff invading your lawn, and the answer is no, then that is when it's time to completely start over with a full start over renovation. So without further ado, let's quickly talk about completely starting over first, and then we'll get into fall renovation. Alright, so it's time to start over. You've completely given up on your lawn and you're going to start completely fresh. A couple things to think about. There's two ways you can start a lawn. You can either start a lawn from seed, or you can start a lawn from sod. Seed is essentially just what it sounds like. You're gonna go to the big box store or go to one of our high quality seed sources. You are going to buy a bag of turf seed. You're going to put it down, and then your grass is gonna grow from seed up from that. Sod is essentially an instant lawn. It comes in rolls, you lay it down, and you instantly have grass. There's pros and cons to each, and let's talk about what the pros and cons to each one is. So seed is a significantly cheaper route. However, you are paying for that cheapness with extra labor. you're going to acquire a lot more water, a lot more maintenance. You're going to have to try to suppress the weed pressure that's coming up while your seed is growing in. And you're going to take almost about 12 months before you have a fully established lawn just like the one I have here. Sod, as I said, it's an instant lawn. It goes down, all you got to do is water and fertilizer, put down water and fertilizer, and you're perfectly fine. But sod does come with the caveat of a heavy price tag. A roll of sod can be anywhere from $3 to $7 depending on what kind of sod you're getting. And you know, over a large lawn like mine, something that's almost 20,000 square feet, that can add up pretty quickly. Now another pro to sod is that sod can be used with some light traffic right away. So if you put down a sod lawn, you know, you're going to be able to walk on it and use it probably within the span of at least 3 or 4 weeks. Now if you put down a seed lawn, you know, that lawn is going to be a mud pit for probably at least the first 3 months. So there is a caveat there. If you have young kids, you have young pets, you know, sod might be a better option to go towards over seed. As if you go in the sod direction, you know, it's less of a time where you have to, you know, have the kids use the front lawn or have the dog use the front lawn if you're working on the back lawn, or vice versa. If you go with the seed option, you know, you're going to be dealing with mud and stuff being tracked in the house for a pretty significant period of time. So first, let's talk about sod. The first thing you're going to do in both of these renovations is you need to kill everything that's there. Everything in your lawn, all the weeds, all the other crap, you want to make sure that that's dead, so it's not going to come up and destroy your new lawn that you're putting in. So first thing to do, hit the whole lawn with Roundup. You need to kill everything, nuke it all, and you're going to be wanting to do that right about now. If you are looking to do a full start right about the time you're seeing this video, it's time to get out and kill this stuff, because you can't be laying the sod right down into a fresh bed of Roundup, as well as you want to make sure that the Roundup has its time to kill those plants before you go ahead and lay down the nice new grass. So now that you sprayed your lawn with Roundup, you're going to go ahead and rent a rototiller. You're going to till about the top 4 inches and slowly rake out all the clumps. So every clump of grass, weeds, whatever you find when you're tilling up that lawn, remove all that foreign material, take it off site, dispose of it however you can. After that, you can take some nice rakes, slowly grade the lawn out. If you have a riding mower or some sort of drag system that you can spread along the back, or you can get a level lawn and use that to help level out the lawn, and that is going to help you get a nice smooth level surface for you to lay your sod in. The next step is get some starter fertilizer at your big box store. You're essentially looking for anything where that middle number has a high value, that is your phosphorus, and that middle number is great for root growth, which is what you're trying to encourage when you lay sod. So make sure that middle number has a high value. Next thing, you're going to order your sod, make sure it's farm fresh, and make sure it's delivered and installed on the same day. Sod is not made to sit. It should be cut at the farm. Normally they start cutting 3-4 in the morning. It's on the truck and delivered to your front yard at 8 o'clock, 9:30, and then you're ready to go ahead and start laying it down and have that instant lawn. As you start laying the sod, making sure you're pinching the seams is very important. That's the best way to make sure that you're not going to see any drought areas forming in the seams between the rolls of sod. And once you've pinched the seams, as soon as you're finished, make sure you start putting water down on the lawn right away. As soon as you got that fresh lawn and that fresh sod, you don't want to let it sit bake in the sun. That lawn has just gone through a lot today. It has been cut, rolled, shipped, and now relayed on your lawn. So you want to make sure that you're giving it the best chance to survive as soon as you put it down. Right, so the next method we're going to be talking about is seeding your lawn. So seeding your lawn from start is similar to the sod that we just talked about. However, as I said, more labor intensive, going to take longer before you'll have a fully established lawn. So number one, when you start seeding your lawn, you got to get glyphosate or some sort of Roundup product and make sure you nuke out everything that's there. Just like the sod method we just spoke about, getting rid of all the crap and everything that's in that lawn is most important, because you don't want that coming up in your new seed when you start putting it down. And once you start putting down your new seed, you can't go ahead and nuke all these things out with glyphosate now that you got your new lawn out without damaging the lawn that's already there. So making sure you get all this done now is very important. So go ahead, put down your glyphosate, you're going to nuke everything out, and again, you should be doing this right now, making sure that you're set up for your renovation near the end of August. Next thing, you're going to get a rototiller. As I said before, same thing, remove all the till up all the soil that's there, remove all the chunks from any sort of plant matter that's left that didn't get completely killed out when you killed it with glyphosate. Once that's all done, now you're ready to do some rough grading. Again, if you can get a drag, a level on, you know, landscape rake, anything like that, get your rough grade set so you're ready to put your seed down. Then you're gonna go buy your seed. I highly recommend buying turf ready quality grass seed. Now, many grass seeds at the big box stores use fillers, essentially things to fill the bag up so they can hit their weight recommendation or their weight that they're required to sell to you. However, those fillers are the cheaper seeds and they don't put a lot of the expensive good grass seed in there. This is normally why you see the seed come up really quickly, but then it doesn't last. If you are looking to grow a long established, well-established lawn, it's better to get it done right the first time. And the only way to do that is to make sure that you buy, you know, turf quality, high quality, professional grass seed. These seeds have been tested for great color, great drought tolerance, and all around disease tolerance, grub tolerance, everything like that, to give you the best and healthiest growing grass that you can find out there. And I can't recommend a seed any more than the GrowForge Elite Turf Grass. You can check it out in the link in the description below, and you can buy it with using code GGN25 to get 5% off at checkout, as well as supporting the channel. At the same time, I have planted this seed in my side yard in a test plot last year. I've been overseeding my back lawn with it slowly for the last 2 years, and I cannot say anything better about the quality of this seed and the success that I've seen using it in my personal yard, and I would recommend you guys to go ahead and use it in yours as well. So definitely check out that Elite grass seed from GrowForge. So once you've picked your seed, you can go ahead and put that seed down. Now you're going to be putting the seed down anywhere from 7 to 12 pounds per 1,000 square feet with your spreader. So essentially you're going to be measuring that out, very similar to the way that we've talked about. If you don't know how to do that, check out the video in the iCard here. It's going to explain to you how to put down fertilizer using a spreader. You're going to measure that out, 7 to 12 pounds per 1,000 square feet. You're going to broadcast that on the lawn. Once you finish doing that, you're going to broadcast down a starter fertilizer. Same thing as a sod, something that's high in that middle number needs to be high, and that is going to help with root growth. Broadcast down the starter fertilizer on top, and then you're going to take a spring rake. You're going to turn that rake upside down. You're going to use the back of that rake to slowly push that seed into the top layer of the soil. Now this is going to ensure that you have seed to soil contact, which is 100% required to have the grass seed germinate in your lawn. So now that you've got everything laid, fertilizers down, next thing is water, water, water. You need to make sure that this grass seed stays damp for at least 14 days. Some grass types can take up to 21 days to germinate, and if you're using the Elite Turf Grass blend, there's quite a bit of Kentucky bluegrass in there. I believe it is the Santama is in there, and that takes quite a while to germinate. So making sure you're keeping the soil wet all the time for 21 days. This means, you know, you might be watering 2-3 times a day for only 30 minutes at a time, but that top layer of the soil cannot be allowed to dry out. At the same time, it shouldn't be drowning in water, but it cannot be allowed to dry out. Now, once you've watered it and you're starting to see germination, you can slowly slow down to watering every single day, but watering for longer periods for about another week. And then once that grass seed is really starting to come up, then you can transition off to every other day and then transition it back to your regular irrigation cycle. If you're not somebody who irrigates your lawn, you need to be irrigating this new seed for at least the first 6 months of its life, all the way into winter. That's going to give your seed the best success to grow. So without further ado, that's pretty much it when we're talking about starting lawn renovations from scratch. Next, let's talk about renovating your lawn, or fixing up a lawn that you already have. So if you met that threshold, you had 30% grass or more, this is directed towards you on how to fix up and make your lawn healthy and new and improved for the 2026 spring lawn season. Alright, so the first step, very similar to the Fresh Start renovations, is to fix up what you're currently dealing with. So making sure that you're taking out all of the broadleaf weeds or grassy type weeds that you're dealing with in your lawn, so that those are not going to start invading your lawn after. So what you can do, go to your local big box store or hire a professional company to come and spray some post-selective herbicide weed control, or post-emergent selective herbicide weed control. You're going to be trying to get rid of all the clover, any sort of broadleaf that's in your lawn. Try to nuke that out as best as you can. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get all of it, but if you can get most of it out before you start your renovation, that's going to give you the best success to prevent those weeds from coming back next year. So now that you've got all those nuked out, it's time to get going on the renovation now. The two biggest things we're focused on with this renovation is strengthening the grass that's already there, as well as adding some new grass into the lawn. Grass does have a lifespan. Just like us, we don't live forever. The grass is a living thing. It doesn't live forever. It eventually dies out. You know, some of these old lawns, the Kentucky 31 lawns that were planted in the 60s and 70s, you know, I doubt that most of the original cultivars are still kicking around in your lawn if your house was built post-World War II. That lawn's probably been overseed God knows how many times since, and those cultivars have eventually slowly died out. So the point of overseeding is essentially introducing some new, healthier cultivars into the lawn, as well as these new, healthier seeds, as we were talking about with the elite turf grass, you know, have been bred and genetically modified so that they have better drought tolerance, better disease tolerance, better pest tolerance, better color, you know, all that kind of stuff. That we want to see in our lawn. These grasses have been bred so that they will give us what we need for the areas that we live in. So that's what's really important with overseeding. But as mentioned too, we want to strengthen the grass that's already there. The grass that's already there is clearly doing okay. I mean, if our lawn hasn't been tended to the best for the last decade, and this grass is still kicking, clearly, you know, it's made a way to survive in the area. So if we can strengthen it and get it to spread, then that's a really good thing as well. So the biggest things that normally suppresses grass from spreading is water penetration, so hard soil, and thatch, which is basically the layer between the soil and the grass that forms from grass clippings. And I see tons of lawns where, you know, if they're not really taken care of very well, there's a huge thatch buildup that forms after the big growth in the spring from improper mowing, and that suppresses spreading in the late spring, early summer, which then damages the lawn come late summer. So the best way to break up these two things is to use a mechanical core aerator. This is essentially a machine with this big drum that has these steel spikes. Each spike is about 3/4 inch around, and these spikes pull plugs or pull cores out of the lawn. Each core almost looks like a piece of dog poo. And we're going to be pulling thousands of cores out of the lawn, punching thousands of holes in the lawn. And what do these holes do? Number one, they break the thatch layer. Number two, they essentially cull the herd, you know, try to thin out the grass a little bit to encourage some new growth to get in there and some of that old growth to die out. Number three, punching these holes allows water and nutrients to drill deeper into the soil. You know, now we've broken that surface layer. We've gone about 4 inches down, and now when you water your lawn, you put down grass seed, you put down fertilizer, it's all going to fall in those little holes. And now that grass seed, that nutrients is drilling deeper into the lawn, which is better for long-term success when it comes to your lawn. So get a mechanical core aerator. You can normally rent them from your local big box store or your local rental store. You're going to rent it. You're going to go up and down the lawn just like the lawn stripes. Once you've finished going up and down, you're going to change direction. You're going to go side to side. This crisscross motion, you're going to pull double the cores and double the amount of time. This is most important. You've rented this machine. You're ready to use it. You might as well get your full money's worth. You're going to go ahead, pull all those cores. Once all that's done, leave the cores on the lawn. They're going to break down and essentially act as a natural top dressing. So this is a 2-in-1. You're pulling those cores, plus you're getting top dressing on top. Then what you're going to do, you're going to get grass seed. Again, I recommend getting a turf quality grass seed, a high quality grass seed. The elite turf grass blend from GrowForge, can't recommend it anymore. Link down in the description below, 5% off at checkout. Make sure you get some high quality grass seed. You're going to put that down anywhere between 5 and 7 pounds per 1,000 square feet. And then you're going to go and get an all-purpose fertilizer, a 16-16-16 or something where the N and P number, those first two numbers, are relatively high. You're going to put that down at about 3 pounds per 1,000 square feet, and then you're going to water. So what you're going to do is you're going to start watering your lawn. You're going to water every day for the first 2 weeks. You're going to water every other day for the second or the third week, and you're going to go back to your regular irrigation schedule on the 4th week. And this is going to help turn your lawn from brown and heat stressed and destroyed to the lawn you see back behind me here on the 5th of August, and we haven't received a lot of rain. This is from years and years of fall renovations, aerations, and putting in new and nice cultivars into the lawn over and over again, strengthening it, growing it, and trying to make it healthy and better, to have an all-around better lawn and healthier lawn. Now, timing with all of these is very important. The ultimate window for growing grass seed is to make sure that it needs to be fully established before you have your first major frost. Now, for my area, my first major frost can be anywhere from Thanksgiving, which is second week of October, till Remembrance Day, which is first week in November. So we got about a month period there. So my ultimate timing for my friends located in the GTA, Southern Ontario, Toronto area is about the last week or second last week of August to be getting the grass seed down. Any later than that and you're really starting to push it, because if you have a quick cold snap like we do some falls, you might lose that grass seed before it goes into the winter. So timing wise, trying to schedule all of this around the second or last week of August is probably what's most optimal for your lawn. As well as that, most of the time when we reach that point, fingers crossed, we're out of the major heat, we're out of the major drought stresses. Normally the rain starts to come back by then, things start to cool down, and your grass seed's going to get some natural water, and you're going to hopefully be a little bit relieved from the amount of watering you've been doing over the summer. So that is what we are looking at here for fall renovations. So I told you guys there would be a little bit surprise at the end of this video at the beginning, and I want to get to that right away. So GrowForge has graciously agreed to give away one of their grow packs. So this is essentially a year's worth of liquid fertilizer for a lawn that is 5,000 square feet. Everything is pre-packaged with a nice schedule for you to go ahead and put it down on your lawn. So if you're looking into getting into liquid fertilizer but you've been too nervous to do so or not know what to buy, this is a great starter kit for people to get into it. So what you have to do to enter into the contest is make sure that you are subscribed to Great Green North Lawn Care and leave a comment down below on what your favorite thing about summer lawn care is. I'll read through the comments, and we'll do a random comment generator, and one of you will be picked for the giveaway. Now there is one caveat. Unfortunately, you have to live within Canada or the United States, and you have to be 18 years or older to win the grow pack from GrowForge. But for those of you who want to win the grow pack from GrowForge, leave a comment on this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll be doing that draw in the upcoming weeks as well. Another surprise is I have created a video lawn guide. So this is going to be coming out probably before the beginning of September. It is a 6-video series, a cost of $75. It can be purchased through my website, greennorthlawncare.com. I encourage you all to go check it out. I'll definitely be announcing it when it goes live, but I will be offering a slight discount for the first 2 weeks. So if that's something that's interested to you, getting a full in-depth lawn care guide that's going to take you through the whole lawn care season, everything to put down when, why, how everything works, definitely recommend buying the video series. Each video is about an hour and 10 minutes. Sit down, watch in the morning when you have your coffee, or listen to it on your drive into work, and you're going to learn a lot more about lawn care, what to do with lawn care, and how to grow a great lawn just like the one behind me. So if it's something that really interests you, I would definitely recommend checking it out, and I do appreciate the support for the channel as well. So without further ado, from the Great Green North, my name is Wade Murray. If I didn't answer any questions about lawn renovations, make sure you submit them in the comments down below, or submit them to my website, greatgreennorthlawncare.com, or my email, greatgreennorthlawncare@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to answer them. From the Great Green North, my name is Wade Murray. As always, keep it green.
I could crumble into pieces, but I got a million reasons why I won't. 'Cause this heavy is a season, and the sun is always right behind